Action News Reporter with all the news and news. I messed up, left my charger 3 cities away. But I'll go a little bit further back. Catch me a video real quick. Catch some videos out there. Headlight out. Still got a headlight. It's just very dim. Guess you can't have it dim. Think I'll move up a little bit closer. Maybe we hear something. Put my bike off to the side. That way I'm not obstructing the sidewalk if somebody comes by. Sucks being in front of them because you got their bright lights. But sometimes. This is your Action News reporter. All the news it is news. Visibility left and right because of these bright lights and that. Back upside down. What is this stuff? Shit, motherfucker. No bueno, I just got here.
I'm into property.
Kickstand keeps coming down. What's up, boss man?
Everything good? Yeah. It's not stolen? No. Okay.
Another stolen bike.
Yeah, see?
Ooh, look, he's got. They all got the tag readers on top. Where the heck did he put the bike? That bitch just went right inside the car somewhere. Back seat. To it in.
What's up, Bob? How you been?
Good, how you been, boss?
Good. You snuck up? You didn't sneak up. I didn't even see you there until I looked up. I was like, oh shit.
I came around this way after I crossed here. The lights were pretty bright back there, so.
I got you.
But I was kind of behind this. I tried to move out. I was like, shit, they might think I'm hiding behind here. That.
You see anything lately?
Not too much. I ain't mad at y'all, so I ain't trying to piss y'all off when I'm videoing. I try to let you
Oh,
see.
yeah, I know.
But
That's why.
Yeah.
So when I saw you, I'm like, oh shit, what's up?
I seen the bike. I was like, oh, they got somebody, and the bike's upside down. So obviously you're checking the serial number.
Yeah, I was checking that, and then
The bike just disappeared. I was like, damn, I don't even know where y'all. Would you threw it in the back seat?
the bike?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, it's in my bed.
that's cool. I was,
Because it's either that or handcuff it to the push bar, and I don't like doing that.
yeah, I've seen them do that before, and I'm like, damn, that's crazy. Like,
Yeah, it's like if we're going like, maybe just like around the corner or something, somebody would do that, but no, like they usually fit on that.
that's cool.
And especially like the newer ones too, they're bigger,
Yeah,
so you can
'cause
get more in there.
I didn't think you could fit the whole bike. I was
Yeah.
like, man, the bike disappeared. I
Yeah.
I know you ain't leaving it on the side of the road.
Nah.
If it's stolen, it goes to evidence. If
Yeah.
obviously,
No, we won't. Since it's not stolen, so we
yeah, take it to
yeah,
property out
there's
there.
areas that it's like we'll chain them with the property and stuff. So when they get out, they can like come claim it.
Yeah, this bike. I had to go pick up,
Oh really?
and it was got taken between the storms.
Oh.
So then the property was closed for a week because the
Yeah.
hurricane was coming, and I'm like, damn, y'all got my bike forever.
Yeah, dude, that was a bad time, man. And like when
Yeah.
property was closing, it was like,
Yeah, and I mean, I couldn't be mad at him. Everything was closed, and
Yeah.
it's like fuck, but right after, I mean, property was open, I think 2-3 days, like before some of the gas stations were open, they were open for property.
Yeah, we tried to. Well, we were worried about it like flooding and everything, but
Yeah.
it was good. Everything was good there. But yeah, so they tried to get them, back to work ASAP.
And, you know,
Because
people want to get paid. I mean, y'all get paid for storm stuff anyway sometimes.
well, we're always working.
Yeah.
That's the thing,
Well,
Like,
especially you guys out patrolling, like
oh,
everybody's getting overtime now when the storm comes.
Well, during the hurricanes, we were all working every day. And night shift, I wasn't on nights then, but nights. So like on days we got like some relief, but nights didn't. They were working like nonstop.
Yeah, I mean,
And we were just constant cycle going because especially the beaches, like there was so much looting there.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah, so
I seen they had what was it, National Guard or something, or Border Patrol from Texas.
Yeah.
Was out on Madeira Beach the day after Helene came through.
yeah, we had the guard. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was out there, and this guy like, oh, it was immigration. It was some kind of immigration.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they were from Texas, I believe.
Oh shit.
And so I was, we had to catch a boat out there. We got out of Parada. We got out at the docks, Jungle Prada, right
Okay.
before they closed the launch down at Jungle Prada. We were able to launch and get out, and we went out there and like, I was there to empty out the house, and then they popped open the safe.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, like the guy had a whole room. I did the kitchen on the house. I did a bunch of work for the guy. I didn't know he had an armory in his house. And, he had a room just for packing bullets, like making reloads.
Shit.
And I'm like, holy shit. Like, and I'm there with his sons cleaning it out. And then they open the safe. And we're on this little, like, 19-foot, 20-foot flats boat. And they got bundles of guns and bags of guns. And I'm like, bro, like, the joke always is, I lost all my guns in a boating accident. That's like, that's the claim. And I'm like, and the thing is like, there's a good chance, out here we could have a boating accident. I mean, water ain't too deep. Like, we could dive down and grab it.
Right.
I mean, if they wouldn't, I would get somebody to go. I'd be like, yo, I know right where it fell off. Come on. But like, that's the joke. And I'm sitting here like, just
This could actually happen.
this could actually happen, right after the storm,
Yeah.
but I mean, I seen it was bad,
Dude, it was-
and right,
It was rough.
that week I finished the kitchen in Treasure Island. These people moved in the house. They had already got a $300,000 estimate to lift their house up to put stilts on the bottom.
Right
And-
before the storm.
Right before the storm,
Oh.
they got it, so they were gonna have to put pilings like 150 foot deep.
Yeah.
And me and the guy I work for, I'm like, why wouldn't they lift the house up before we put the kitchen? Because the house is gonna rack,
Yeah.
and it might mess up these expensive cabinets we're putting in. But we finished on Monday. They moved in on the Monday, and the storm came on Thursday. We were done like Monday doing the handles, straightening everything out, and all their lower cabinets. I mean, we went in.
Done.
Done. We went in and replaced them. They had a $12,000 fridge, and that thing survived. The wine cooler, their mini bar, they had, the countertop oven and everything that was in the countertops, because everything was in the cabinets, pretty
Yeah.
much. The oven was, all that stuff. Their $5,000 wine cooler that was like as tall as a fridge with a glass front, that was cashed. Only the fridge survived. But that's because it's an expensive fridge, and it had the motor, the compressor was on top instead of on the bottom.
Yeah.
So they saved their $10,000 fridge, but every other appliance in there had to go, even the
Yeah.
cooktop.
Yeah.
And,
Treasure Island got hit.
yeah, and I seen like pictures and videos of the streets covered in sand.
Yeah.
But we didn't even go redo their kitchen until like over a month after Milton came.
Yeah.
But
I was working north. I was up in, I was in Dunedin, but we were all like certain areas. I was up in Arizona. Dude, it was like, there were a few houses that were raised. So, like they're like garage, or like they're
the
like,
sacrificial floor unit.
yeah, like that got messed up. But buddy, man, like what do you need? Like,
Yeah.
I'm fine.
You know,
And they were just, I mean, strong people.
and I was telling like I know there's a whole bunch of people that are in shitty situations around here, and I'm like, look, these people like need help cleaning up.
Yeah.
They got money, and they just want to get the trash out. They'll give you shit like I was doing a lady's house in just past Shore Acres, Venetian Isles, and she's a realtor we do work for. Her house flooded. They left 3 cars there. They were all gone.
Jeez.
And so I was in there, and she had me taking up a wood floor, like, and I didn't want to do it. Like, I'm like, I don't. There's a reason I don't do floors. I got buddies that did floors. Like, I got out of flooring. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's difficult, and I'm trying to get wood that's glued down the concrete off the floor. And I'm like, I'll get irritated with this. Like, this is grunt work. Like, I do a little bit. It's shit a lot of people don't want to do. Like, working with electrical. I found out. Then Instagram got me a little scoop. Now I see why, a lot of these contractors are like, if you work with electrical, I'll pay you $400 a day. And I'm like, well, I guess I'm gonna have to tell, my brother or whoever that's paying me $150 a day, I got some other stuff to do and you need me. Like,
Yeah.
But, I started, seeing like what happens to people fucking around with electric or doing stupid shit. But I get places where I see, white wire. I just found some at, my brother's shop, and somebody ran, like a 12 gauge wire to run a 220 machine. And I was in there, there was a switch that went out, so I was just checking the wiring first, all the way to the box. It's 220, and I'm like, well, it's coming out looking like 110, which means they're using, a common wire as a hot wire, which is all fucked up. And I'm like, we need to switch this. And he's like, well, and I was like, look, I got everything. I can switch it. I got the wire and everything. But I'm not going to put it all back together and get it going, because that wire can burn up in there. It's commercial, so it's all in metal conduit.
Yeah.
So it's not too bad. It'll blow the breaker before the conduit burns through. But still,
Yeah,
like, you don't want shit catching on fire
Yeah.
in your wall. Well, it's not even walls. It's shop, so it's all
Yeah.
out in the open. You see it, but
Still.
you don't want to have this shit going. It's been like this for 5 years or 10 years since you moved in. Like, I can fix it for free. Like,
Yeah.
pay me whatever. And I did. I went in there a couple days ago and just ran some wire. Whatever it is, 8 gauge wire. It's crazy because a lot of people don't know. Years ago, I was working through the labor pool for an electrical engineer, and the labor pool asked me, you could do electrical work. I was like, well, I know how. I'm not an electrician like that. I can only do it if there's an electrician there. And they're like, well, we've sent 3 of our electricians out, and this guy got rid of them. And they were like, but he's an electrical engineer. And I'm like, well, I don't know if an engineer, it's higher than, the actual electrician, but I don't know if he's allowed to supervise me, like, legitimately for shit illegal.
Sure.
And I'm really not trying to get arrested for working. I've done a lot of dumb shit. I don't want to go to jail because I'm working,
Yeah.
illegally. So, like, I went out and he's like, yeah, but I got an electrician, he can come sign off, I'll watch it. And then I started asking the engineer, like, and he's like, I've never touched power. He's like, I've never even seen something like this. He's like, I just know what it says on paper. So he knows all the wires, he knows the symbols for the outlets and this and that, and I'm like, are you serious? Like, and then one time I remember he come pick me up, he had his license suspended. But, it was for child support, and he's like, I need you to drive to Tampa. And like, at the time I had a license, so I'm like, all right, and then we got rear-ended by some people,
Yeah.
and his truck was a stick, so he had just got in the driver's seat, and we got rear-ended by like probably a 17-year-old Spanish girl, an older woman, and like he pulled up, and he's like, call the police. I was like, motherfucker, you don't want to call the police right now. I was like, was kind of hoping they drove off, like they did nothing to you, but they crunched into the bumper on their car, dented it up. Well, a father or uncle, a guy came out, and we're like, we have no damage, we're good. And he's like, no police? And I was like, sure, no police. Like, well, that's good. Like, and he's like, for real, no police? And I'm like, yeah. And, he was was like a European.
Yeah.
You know, he's from like a European, like Yugoslavia or something.
Yeah.
So he was like a kind of immigrant,
Yeah.
I guess. So he was like, "What the hell just happened?" He's like, "Is this legal? Is it okay?" I said, "Look, if you guys could have exchanged
Yeah,
information,
just exchange, yeah.
you know, or if you don't want to, you can just say, yeah, we're good, and that's legal. Like, you stopped for each other, you waited, you did." He's
Yeah.
like, "So just drive?" I said, "Yeah." Like, you know, they ran into you, like they were at fault.
Yeah.
It was probably a young girl driving without a license or something, you know. They probably didn't want the police
Yeah,
here
they
just as
didn't want
much,
to deal with it,
you know.
yeah.
And he's like, "Okay." We went to work that day, and I kind of learned how to drive a stick a little bit
There
without
you go.
driving the gears, you know. Because, I mean, I got on the interstate fine, you know, you just,
Yeah, you're just
but
going.
when we went to get off, and I got off at, had me get off one exit too early, and I stalled out coming off the exit ramp, and he jumped in the driver's seat, got on, and got off at the next exit, and as we're getting off, boom, we
That's
got
what
hit.
happened.
And, you know, it's crazy. He's driving for like 2 blocks, but he didn't, you know, and
That's how it works, man.
yeah,
That's
like,
how it happens.
and I mean, I don't know if he would have got arrested. He probably would have got, you know, I'm sure, like me, if I'm driving on the suspended, you know, I'm gonna get arrested. I've done it a bunch of times. You guys are, you know, I got stopped one time, and you know, like one of the first times when I had a license, I didn't know my van broke down in loose. I left it out there, and my insurance, I didn't turn in the tag or tell them that I didn't have a van, so my insurance wasn't good. Well, my kid's mom, her license was suspended, so I drove out to the beach. We got pulled over because they said, you know, he's like, "Show me a good license." And I'm like, you know, "Here's my license," and he's like, "Cool, cool." He goes back, he's like, "Man, your license is suspended." I'm like, "For what?" "No way, I just got my license like 7 months ago. Like,
Yeah.
I've never had a license before. Like, what could it be suspended for?" And he's like, "I don't know, let me check." He's like, I could probably still just get you out of here. Like, you know, looks like it's a failure to pay something, and it was for insurance. You know, the insurance just notified you guys, like, or whatever. And I learned, I'm not using my tag or registration. I better go take it
them
in.
off.
Yeah, I had to go sign a paper because I just left my van for mechanical use, and he's like, "If you can fix it and sell it, you know, keep it." Like,
Yeah.
you know, I don't want to pay $1,000 to fix the van I paid $1,000 for. You know, I was like, "If you're cool with that," I said, "If you want to scrap it, like you towed it there, I didn't pay you for the tow yet. Like,
Yeah.
if you want to call it even, then scrap it." And he's like, "Yeah," he's like, I might want to fix it up." And he ended up, he fixed it up, sent me pictures, told me he'd sell it back to me for like 1,700. And I thought about it, you know, and I was like, that was like what he used. He probably had like 1,200 in parts into it. So I thought, you know, I was like, shit, you know, I was like, nah, man. He ended up selling it to somebody for like 6,500. And I'm like,
Damn.
no way, you know. But he did a pretty good job. He had kind of restored it, you know, sprayed it nice.
Yeah.
Putting
Yeah.
paint, putting paint on stuff makes a big difference of what people are willing to pay.
Oh, yeah. It's like a house.
Yep.
Yeah.
More paint.
Like this house. Good. Go up dramatic. Paint job.
Just paint, you know.
It's crazy.
Well,
But,
I'm sure
alright,
you
man.
got stuff to do.
Yeah, I'm gonna get out of here. You be safe tonight, alright, bud?
Definitely.